What up, party people? I hope the volume's okay. Let's get cracking. I got a playlist of relaxing Super NES music, which should prove to provide a chill atmosphere. And I guess I'm going to continue on this dark commune. And maybe a little bit of the accursed too. Grabbed a pot of blood for the blood god. Good old reliable blood effects, so maybe we'll make those accursed cultists a little more gory. But for now, we'll just work on the skin. Not sure how I feel about these red pants and the red boot. Right, the armor plate is red. Same with the armor plate on the corset here. I think maybe we should go with a gray pant. Keeps things more in line with the other cultists in the army. Hey, what up, Miku? Thanks for tuning in. What are you working on? It's the powerful red pants, right? Too powerful. Red's too strong of a color. Though I do think red in here might look good once I get rid of those red pants. Calculating points. Nice, nice. Points are a tricky thing. Tacticals have 1 point of AP. That's the tactical marine bolt guns, I assume. Well, I do like that. I kind of despise how the bolt rifle must be so superior to the bolt gun, you know? Even though that's not a full coverage on those red pants, I think it's already moving in the right direction. So I'll take some of my red mix here, and I'll start adding it into the armor plate. That way there's a similar kind of design language between the greave, or the knee pad there, and then these shoulder pads. I think that makes the sense. We'll go in with some Vallejo metal color in a little bit to touch up those spots I did not hit earlier. I was sort of hemming and hawing if I wanted to incorporate gold into the trim of these armor pieces. I think that's how the official box art is painted. What up, Akumia Sensei? Yeah, these the Demagogue does have a bit of a Zinchian flavor, that's for sure. A little bit of a flesh change action going on. So how about that Emperor's Children's Index? Quite robust. It honestly feels like GW just snuck it out. Don't want to make a big story out of it because it's sort of a nothing burger. And I guess the focus for them at the moment is Age of Sigmar. You know, I've kind of come around on the whole Age of Sigmar attack sequence where all weapons have predetermined wound characteristics, like a one-factor wound test. Because I used to think it was really lame. Like, why would, to use a 40k example, why would a bolt gun wound a guardsman and an Imperial Knight at the same rate? But when you think about it, or I guess after I thought about it further, the wound test is dumb anyways, so why not just make an arbitrary effectiveness test for the weapon, because you have to resolve a two-factor armor versus AP anyways. So it might actually be preferable than having two-factor tests back to back. I don't know. Just random thoughts that probably, well, most likely don't merit a video. I should really do the gold sections next, actually, before I do these parchments, seeing as how they are above. We got some Vallejo color, Vallejo metal color. Where's my trusty base? There it is. Okay, time to hit those shoulder pads. AOS is more lethal than 40k. Well, today I learned. I honestly don't pay too much mind to AOS. Though I do like the models, and the rules seem to be, at least from as an outsider looking in, they seem to be a bit more creative. What's up with my focus? What's up with the autofocus here? You know a cultist model is a big deal when they have trim. Then we'll hit these horn caps. That should help the model look a lot more finished. A lot of obscuring elements on this model. Trying to hit these horns. Okay, that should be adequate. And any trim to clean up on the other armor pieces? I don't think so. Maybe we can just add a bit of brighter layers to the center of these greaves. But I think that's probably as far as you want to go. Alright, so what I want to do is have a kind of palish gold. I don't want anything too crazy. So I'm going to mix Retributor armor in with my existing metal color here. That should yield a pretty pale gold, which hopefully comes across as tasteful. Doesn't throw the whole scheme out of whack. Well, it's certainly pale, that's for sure. Yeah, I love how smooth the Vallejo metal color goes on. Smooth as eggs. Oh, what's this? 11 concurrent viewers. This is turning into a party. Well, I hope everyone is making some good headway on their projects. If you're in my Discord, feel free to throw some whips into the Manufactorum channel. I would enjoy taking a gander. For this, all we have to do is just hit this area a little bit. It can mostly be blue from the chaos gunk, or the chaos funk, I guess, emanating from this, I don't know, this weird parasite or creature in the middle here. We got most of the surface hit. Well, let's see if autofocus wants to work with me. Right on, okay. Probably should wash my brush. Give it a little rinse. Whips sent. Let me take a looky-loo. Oh, Sam Kaufman, thanks for commenting in chat here. So you got your Chaos Codex in, eh? Well, it's, you know, it's not a bad codex. I don't think the writing and mechanics are poor at all. It's definitely not the worst of 10th edition. And getting your book is an exciting time. Hey there, Mahi Wu. Mahi Wu. What sub-faction is this for? This is for... These cultists I'm working on are for the Word Bearers. Just kind of having fun with painting them a little different than the rest of the army. Alright, that's not bad for the staff. I think we can work with that. Yeah, there should be links to the Discord, Ronan, and, well, on the channel itself. Maybe in the description? Let me see. Miku might be correct. It should be accessible from my channel. There should be a link there on the banner. I guess I could double check. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Glad to hear you already joined. As long as there's a way. As long as there's a way to join. You just gotta find it. It's kind of like a game. Alright, let's get some little bit of parchment color in there. Try not to muck up the metal. Right in the hole. We need to do something about this eye on the staff. Maybe a pink will work. We shift it to a white in the middle. At least I think it's an eye. Well, you know what? When I paint it, it's going to be an eye. My cultists are kind of, the scheme I've used for them is sort of inspired by Resident Evil 4. So they wear these robes, these black robes. And the elite ones wear red robes, which is why the accursed cultists have red. And so for the Dark Commune, it's got a Lord Sadler kind of situation going on here with purple robes. And I remember his staff, I'm pretty sure, had a big eye thing in there too. Definitely his final form did. The eyes all over the place. Something about Resident Evil virus and eyes, I suppose. I probably should put some color down on her walking stick. So I got some Mornfang brown here, and I'll probably mix in a little bit of, I'm not sure, maybe Deep Forest Skin from Vallejo. Get a bit more of an earthy kind of brown. Hopefully it looks good for a wooded element. Oh, I see your whips, Miku. Looks like quite a bit of work and those dice. Right on, Sam. I'll take a looky-loo. Hey, those are some nice Marines. Oh, and some sweet Skaven in the back there. Whoops. Well, they're on stream, kind of. So, Sam, are those Black Legion or Iron Warriors? What will they become? I see some black and gold so far. Or is that blue? Ah, there it is. Yeah, Night Lords. A dark blue, very appropriate for the Lords of Night. It's a pretty groovy music from a game I've never, I never even knew existed. Alright, parchment's looking alright. So, noticed I missed a little bit of gold details. So I'm gonna just bust out the metal color again. Just a drop this time. And I want to hit these nails. And then I'll mix in some Retributor and hit this Demagogue's bangles. Shouldn't need too much. If one were to kitbash Knights of Nye into 40k, should they be Traitor's Guard or CSMs? That is an excellent question, because I don't know what Knights of Nye is. Perhaps someone in chat knows the answer. Alright, she's looking pretty cool so far. I think we're ready to work on the wood, and I guess that rope maybe should be red. So I'm gonna get some game color Blanco off-white. I want to mix that into my, can I show this on stream properly? No, it won't fit. My palette is just too large. I'm just mixing in some off-white to my pink color, just to kind of push the blend here. And then we'll get in here with the Mornfang. So already this is looking super saturated, super saturated. I'm gonna mix some of my model color dark sea gray into that. There we go, look at this. It's some palette action. Not sure if I liked that color. Maybe I should have used a darker gray. Ideally, this would have just desaturated it and kept that value the same, but seems we've gotten a touch brighter. But it can be fixed. Such is the way. The Knights of Nye from Monty Python. The mystery is solved. That's closer to what I'm looking for. Mixing in a little bit of black. Really, I'm looking for a dryad bark kind of color. Hey, that's a nice looking Mauler fiend. In the Discord whips over there. That's sweet. The lightning and everything. Very nice. So I've mixed a bit of green in here, and I'm sort of experimenting with, I don't know, just adding some variety. We'll see if it's a good idea or a bad idea. And maybe that lighter brown I used earlier can be used as an edge highlight color or a detail color. Not bad. I like the look. Now, do I have any skeleton colors here? Not quite. I could just cheat and use my parchment color. It's often, I don't know if this is a self-report or not, but often I use parchment colors for bone colors. It's kind of close enough. I might just hit them with different washes to kind of sell the idea they're different materials, but I think it's not so bad. I think we can get away with it. I do have a bit of yellow on my palette. Maybe it's a good idea to mix some of that in. I don't know. Could get pretty crazy here. Oh boy, I missed a huge portion of the parchment. This whole back half. And it's kind of it's like a precarious amount of other items in the way here. And given how much is going on, I think all that's necessary would be to just hit it with the same color. Don't have to worry about even perfect coverage, I don't think. What up, Isaac? Oh, hell yeah, brother. Vulcan lives. Salamanders are a very, very cool chapter. I guess they're also hot as well. I played a game against salamanders last weekend, and it was pretty cool seeing the, well, new for me, the new detachment in action. Army-wide assault isn't nothing. Alright, how am I going to best get that other rope? Can I use the flat of my brush? Looks like it's working. Oh, there it is. There's the error. It's okay, I wanted to go back to the dress and add some of those hatches to give a bit more detail, a bit more of that lived-in look to the ropes. So we'll grab the Nagaroth Knight. Nagaroth Knight. It's a decent purple. Oh, hell yeah. 6-man aggressor teams are very spicy. Very spicy. You make use of the... forget the name of the stratagem. The one that does the mortal wounds. Or maybe devastating wounds now. Definitely want the skull to be a bit brighter, because her hand that's holding it is pretty dark. You want that. You want a detail like a skull to kind of pop. Yeah, looks pretty good. It's got good readability, I think. Hell yeah. Jump those aggressors out into the opponent's backline and burn them up. Cleanse. Just dabbing a bit of red into the armor, onto the pauldrons here. I want to add a bit more vibrancy to some of the contours of the shapes. Well, something about the camera adds 10 pounds. It certainly doesn't look as good. But it looks pretty good to me, so I'm happy with that. I'm glazing a bit of dark purple into the recesses here. Well, you take care, Kit Bash Carnage. I appreciate you stopping by. So now the hatching begins. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the aesthetic. Not everywhere. Just, I guess especially where the material is already stressed. Maybe you want to... I think it makes sense to use that as a guide, kind of enhance the wear and tear a little bit. And raised areas seem to be a good area as well. What a nice model this is. The cloth is definitely a palette cleanse compared to the usual power armor or I don't know, even Eldar armor or Tyranid carapace, right? It's a soft surface versus hard surface model, so there is some variety to appreciate. Whoops. Can we fix that? Okay. Ugh, look at that. Done goofed. Done goofed. Alright, I think the Demagogue is basically done. Right? Right, I mean, could layer up the horns a little bit more, but it's probably. Just ease that wash a little bit, and then I think after this we'll move on to maybe the, I don't know what he's called, the standard bearer. The guy with the big demon standard, big demon mouth standard. Jeez, how are we gonna hit this? Nice. We'll do a little... Is that coming across? I think so. Yeah, the two other interesting characters in the unit are the Icon Bear and the Brain Guy. But the Brain Guy's a bit more intimidating, I think. I'll start with the standard bear, and I do have some of my skin colors out of my palette still, so maybe that's a sign to start there. Quite the mutation on his one side. Wonder if that's from holding onto the standard for too long. Like the standard is what's causing him to become more corrupted. Maybe that's his lore. I'm also not too keen on the red inner robe. I think I'll probably make that either black or just leave it purple. I think it's probably going to compete too much if I make this the red material of the... You know, if I build it up to something like this, I think that color will compete too much and take away from this, which should be the focal point. And just layer some skin. Well, this should add a warm undertone. Well, I'm not sure if you want a warm undertone, honestly. Like around chins, you usually want a cool undertone. Oh, nice little Sisters of Battle helmet on this guy. I wonder what order I should make. I should make that helmet. Gotta find the order that is the most about being zealous. The ones that the word bearers would hate the most, and I think go from there. What up, Zacharias? What is going on? Uh-oh, getting a bit too bright on the robes here. It's too much. The third and final Invictor Warsuit. What are you scheming? Looking to scout, eh? Make some scouting moves. That's what Invictors have, right? They have scouts? The scouts ability? Pretty sure. Well, it's not something you'd want scouting coming right at you turn one, that's for sure. No, I think the Invictor Warsuit has better AP in melee than the Redemptor. Or is that in the Index? Maybe that was... Maybe I'm misremembering. I remember seeing it and just doing like a massive double take that I couldn't believe. Could be from an older version of the datasheet though. Okay, let's get some Dark Sea Gray on here, because this guy has some mutations to deal with. I think that's all he's got for mutations. He's got his weird forearm hair, which I can begin filling in. Oh, look at that, we're making use of some wet blends here. While it's wet, does the blending for us. It's a little too stark still, though. Let's see if we can remedy that. I think that's better. Just saw your messages now, Zach. Building a full Phobos Vanguard list, eh? Nice. Are you enjoying the Vanguard detachment? Is that why? Or is this more of a separate hobby goal of yours? right on, man. The Vanguard attachment is pretty good. I have a buddy who has been making great use of it the last little while, and yep, it's a very versatile toolkit, very fun. I like it a lot. I've always kind of been into the Raven Guard kind of flavor of things. Man, there's not a lot of real estate on these little hairs. I don't know if a blend is really possible. Oh, maybe we've got it. Maybe. I think I've gone and bloody done it. Where's my medium skin tone? Oh, right, I also wanted to do some blood work on some of those torments, because they are... I mean, I don't want to overdo it, but it feels somewhat necessary given their state. You know, like, you got creatures busting out of your skin and no blood on the model. It feels like there ought to be some. Three Invictors and 3 Thunderstrikes. The Thunderstrike Stormspeeder it's pretty good. it's kind of the one you want, in my opinion. Because what do the other two do? Pluses to hit and ignores cover. Whereas a Thunderstrike does pluses to wound for, I think, just vehicles and monsters, but still, that's what you generally want to be. Or that's generally what you're going to be wounding on 3s more than 2s, so it makes sense. This is quite a stark jump in tone. I wonder if this is going to worsen the effect or not. Maybe I should mix in some of my base color back in. Oh god, it's starting to look weird. Starting to look a bit weird. If I glaze back in my base color, it'll kind of alleviate that a little bit, is what I'm thinking. kind of look like a normal highlight, hopefully. Not bad. He's taken shape. Slowly but surely. That might be too watery. And since the blend is still drying, I don't want to contaminate it, so to speak. You know, on one hand, it will help things blend better, but it could also cause the paint to run amok. So probably leave that for now. Okay, let's get some blue. Put that on his chin spike. Trying to be careful around this this growth on his forearm, because I really like how it's turned out. In fact, I think his whole arm looks pretty good. I think we're ready for some red. Some of our vibrant red colors. It always starts off kind of weak because you gotta build it up. So how does this shoulder pad differ from our demagogues? Alright, so I think these are the red areas. Yeah, the decision to change his robes from red to black will help him look a lot better, I think. Less competition with the shoulder pad, which I already like the idea of. Okay, we'll let that dry, and then we'll layer in some pure red afterwards. And I guess now we can start kind of haphazardly working on our purples. Building up some of our robe colors. Just kind of putting down some color and trying to keep in mind where we want to get some blends going. So probably these tips want to have an increase in value, so it'll be on top of his head. It'll be brighter, then to darker, then bright again at the bottom. Then we'll have dark, and probably bright again here, which will go to dark, and then I guess bright again. It's always kind of like not a fight between how things should be painted and what would look kind of more aesthetically interesting. You want to strive and find that balance. So I got two dialed in there, Zacharias. I just noticed your messages now. In conjunction with the incursors and eliminators, I'm guaranteed to hit them too. Most things in 4+ already. Yep. And I did texture work on my eliminators camo cloaks last night. Turned out pretty dope. Oh, that's awesome to hear. If you're in my Discord, which I'm pretty sure you are, throw a whip into the Manufactorum channel. I'd love to see what you've got going on. No pressure, though. I know, like, some people don't want to be too showy with their stuff, which I totally understand. Jeez, that artwork for the first Breath of Fire. Very different from the later games. I wonder if it's a case of using a Western artist for the local version. Kind of like the old Mega Man box art. Angry Dwarf in Discord. Okay, I'll keep an eye out. OBS does this thing where I can't see the full names of people on Discord while I'm streaming, so it makes it kind of difficult to navigate midstream, but I'll definitely keep an eye out. Alright, how are we going to hit these edges? Need a bit more Nagaroth Night. I've mixed too much off-white into the mix. Jeez, you know what? I think this autofocus is trash. I think it's trash. Let's try a fixed focus. I think that's better. As long as yeah, it has its pros and cons. The fixed focus requires me to... It leaves more room for human error. Much appreciated, Zach. Much appreciated. There is something deeply satisfying just about going into that Zen state of mind, that, I guess, flow state. Man, this guy's got so many holes in his robe. It's crazy. This dude needs some new clothes. You know what? I should have been painting his glove while I was, and his boots for that matter, while I was painting his robe. He's got one glove, like a duelist. Do some wooden color on the staff. It's like a homebrew dryard bark with a little bit of green mixed in. So we're gonna need some silver for the trim, and I guess this thing. Maybe we can make that component the same gold as our Demigog's scepter. Maybe that makes the most sense. There are quite a few of the quite a few silver components I missed, including the trim of this guy's scabbard. How's it going, Troy? Working on inceptors, eh? God, the inceptors are such a pain because of their bases, I find. Good units, though. Boy, oh boy, do they have good rules. I think a wash would look good in here. Something like a Reichland flesh shade. Gotta be subtle, but I think it might look pretty good. Or Carlberg Crimson might look good too. We'll see. Let's try it out. Let's get freaky. There's a lot of details in there with those boils, but you want to put a wash down to bring them out, I find. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, while that wash dries a little bit, do some metallics on this guy. You know, this playlist is called Relaxing SNES Music, but I don't know if this song belongs in here. Alright, that shoulder pad's looking pretty good. And some trim to do on his scabbard. Perfect. Can't even see what to paint. I think it's something like this. I mean, you really don't see it, so maybe it doesn't even matter. What's going on, Love's Fool? Nice to see the usual suspects back in here. Maybe I should tone this down a bit more. This is quite gold still. Maybe it'll be okay once the the demon head is painted. Or the icon, anyways. Well, let's start in there. Definitely want the horns to be brighter as they go outwards, that's for sure. I think that's where we want the blends to sit. That makes the most sense. So here's the dilemma. In most models across the word bearers I have painted thus far, I've painted all the fire kind of greenish, like a hex flame kind of color. And now I wonder, should this demon head be painted, should the flames of this demonic icon here be painted in that same way, or should I paint it in a more traditional fire color, like a reddish orange, because this happens to look fairly evocative of the word bearer's chapter badge or legion badge. So I'm kind of undecided on which way to go there. Follow the color scheme or rep the word bearer's symbol. Match the fire, right? Go with the green. Then so it shall be. This guy has an awful lot of skulls, though. Well, they'll definitely need another coat. Hey, what's going on, Shamari? Good to see ya. Just painting some cultists over here. Okay, let's start in with this green fire. It's gonna require a pretty heavy layer to just break through all this black. At least 2 coats, maybe 3. I'll begin shifting in some green to the off-white just to hue it slightly greenish. Kind of like a shamrock color. Like a pastel green. Oh, well, Tramari, I don't think it's too much. I mean, it makes sense that a Plague Marine would be into Nurgle, even if he's in Black Legion, or even if he's... I don't know what GW wants to... I don't know how GW wants to treat the cult legions. Right? Like, are they... Is every Plague Marine from the Death Guard? And they just come and help the different legions? Is that the idea? If so, then absolutely, like, put Nurgle icons all over your stuff. All over your Plague Marines. But even if they were Black Legion bound Plague Marines, let's say, I think it's perfectly reasonable they would have icons to Nurgle. It's not like Black Legion is anti-Nurgle, right? So for the pale green, I'm going to add a tiny bit of AK's deep green to the off-white. It won't take much, just because it's so potent. shoot, I just noticed on the back here we have a bit of fire poking through. Gotta start building up our base color. Because every time I press into this icon, I see the plastic flex and I get nervous that the whole thing's gonna just snap right off. You know, while we're doing this icon, let's add a bit of I guess a bit of edge highlighting and maybe some hatches, some cross hatches. Jeez, yeah, it's so flimsy and beyond the center of mass for the model. It's hard to brace. It's even hard to brace this thing. That's too strong. Completely borked. I'll have to go back in after and fix it. Oh well. What does Gandalf say? No journey is without peril, right? If it wasn't him, it was someone. How's it going, Bread? Thanks for stopping by. Let's clean up these edges a bit, try and break them up. Gonna do a bit of stippling here. I find that's often the easiest way to break up chunky, chungus edge highlights. This is still drying, right? Yep. Yup, it is still drying. Well, maybe we can start getting in here with a second coat. Yeah, fire effects are involved. They're very involved. I don't think they're hard, but it's like a lot of things you have to account for. So you want a natural blend, and then you also ideally want that you want to create a sense of light emission. So I'll begin adding some brightness onto the parts nearby. So we know that light's obviously going to catch on this guy's face. So these teeth aren't going to stay black, that's for sure. Even our chin here is going to receive quite a bit of light, especially on the lip, if you can call this a lip. For sure we'll get light spilling here and here as well. This is just the beginning. I'm going to go over, it's kind of a similar principle to what you see being done with airbrushes, but we're just brushing it on. We're going to tint all this with Hexwraith Flame. Not the new version, the old version, because I think it's better for tinting. Get some more off-white, and we'll probably start building the blend on our next pass, because I basically want pure off-white at the hottest spot of our fire. I think that makes the most sense, and we do want to blend out to a dark color, right? This isn't too long, it's not like Adrax's, so I won't go to a near black, but I think a dark gray is probably reasonable for these trails, right? And we'll work on making a decent blend. With the silver, let's, is this alive still? Barely. Still brighter than what I got. I'm just going to put some silver on the inside of this icon. I'll probably splash some Hexwraith Flame to try and sell the OSL look. I don't know, this is a whole experiment. We'll see if it pans out. What? What kind of game is this? I never know what you're gonna get on What the 40K live stream. What you probably do is eye holes. Can be a bit haphazard with those. Similar principle here to my easy glowing eye lenses video. I will carry that same logic into these sigils. Okay, so I'll start mixing in my tiny bit of deep green into the palette here. Maybe it's worth showing what that looks like, sort of. Oh, you know what? This is where autofocus being off kind of ruins everything. Whatever. Okay, so with that greenish white, I'm coming in here to begin creating a blend. Will it blend? We'll try and work while it's wet because, you know, flame is, despite being so high temperature, flames have quite a fluid dynamic quality to them. So I think a wet blend will read better for flame effects. And we're gonna have to start mixing in some black. Actually, I have some Incubi Darkness in my palette. Might as well just use some of that. Might as well. It is in the color scheme already. All right, we're getting a greenish kind of color. A greenish flame. It's starting to read, it's starting to come to life. You know, I think the colors I chose actually worked really well. The Incubi seems to be a natural kind of shift in value and hue. The question is, will a layer of Hexwraith Flame just ruin everything or not? I don't know. I'll do another layer of our pale green. Oh, it's a bit messy. A bit of a messy application here. The Hexwraith Flame should marry any of the spillover, so it looks like a, hopefully a natural kind of light or bounce light. Gonna need more silver though. I want to brighten the icon a little bit. Oh, right on, Zach. I'm a big fan of the skulls and trophies to denote sergeants or champions. I think it's a fun way to differentiate things for yourself and makes it easier for your opponents. So before I put the Hexwraith Flame on, you really want to make sure that everything is dry, or else it'll not have it won't yield the intended result. It'll start mixing in with the wet paint, and the whole glaze or wash tinting effect is ruined. Just noticed this guy has crack grenades, or frag grenades, depending which one is which. I think the smooth one is the crack grenade, I think. Okay. This guy's looking all right. Good session. Good session. You got the Demagogue looking all right. Got this standard bearer guy looking all right. I'm gonna put a bit of hatches, a little bit of hatching on him. And given how holy his robes are, he's gonna have a bit of hatching. Probably better to keep that kind of effect towards the bottom of the model. Yeah, Zach, Miku, you guys are both not wrong at all. It's a shame because I am very fond of Reavers. I think they're super cool. I think Terror Troops is something that shouldn't just be for loyalists only, because it does serve a purpose for the loyalists, you know, to quell rebellions. I think it's a useful unit to have represented in the range, but they never seem to be able to do the rules to make them worthwhile, which is a big shame. Alright, these flame effects I think are sufficiently dry. Maybe I should do another pass on the top of the icon. It's not looking very thorough. A white ink would actually be ideal for this kind of job. Which I really should pick one up at some point. You know what, since it's still drying, with our light gray, I'm just gonna kind of ease this a little bit. Because this, like, after so many passes, it's kind of gotten a little intense, I think. Man, this is gonna be a moment of truth. A leap of faith. Sometimes you gotta kill your babies, you know? Because it's not bad, right? When you look at this guy, I'm like, it's a pretty good flame right there. And it's either gonna look way better or hopefully not way worse. Okay. A little bit of stretching, a little bit of psyching myself up to apply this Hexwraith Flame. Let's see what happens. Okay. We're kind of going to messily apply it, because I'm hoping it'll sell the idea of OSL, to be honest. We can always tone things down with a bit of stippling. Stippling goes a long way. Wonder if I should put the Hex Wraith on all the skulls. Maybe that makes the sense. We're learning as we go. I think this turned out all right. We'll have to go in there and brighten up the center a little bit, but it seems to be doing the trick. Reminds you of Bellicor, eh? I kind of hate Bellicor, but I get that people like him. Bellicor does have a very cool model. Okay, so while this is drying, I think I can, whoops, oh my god, almost knocked my whole setup over. While it's drying, I want to, I think I can begin to, if the consistency is right, begin layering in some of those brighter colors back in. You know what? I think it's too early. Maybe we'll let him chill for now, and we'll wrap up the stream soon, but I did want to try a little bit of a bloody experimentation. So, with blood for the blood god and a bit of glazing medium, I want to try and add some choice gore to these kinds of torments. So I think they might look a bit weird without it. So hopefully it's not gonna ruin all the work that went into this guy, you know? And I wonder, with some glazing medium here, I wonder if I can just pull we can have some areas of greater intensity, of course. What do you think? Think we've ruined it? It's like the same principle as weathering. You know, you paint a nice model and then it's like, okay, time to mock it up. What's this? I'll have to sit on this guy and see. Maybe with fresh eyes I can better evaluate if it's something I want to do on all of the accursed. I guess it definitely sells the idea that this is in progress, you know? For that underneath arm, I don't think it matters too much. Can't really see under there. Well, while we're here, I should probably fix up this guy's face from last time. Better, but not ideal. It's fine. It's definitely a nice looking model. Alrighty. Given the time, I think it's time to wrap this up. Let's do a little review. We did a bit of blood effects on this torment here. We'll sleep on this and figure out if it's something I want to do to all of them. I think it's made things better, I think. What else do we got on the Dark Commune front? We got a standard bearer who's looking pretty grisly. I gotta say, I like how the icon turned out. Gotta add some bright spots on the flame and eyes, but I think it was a successful experiment, gotta say. And then we got the finish up. Sorry, I got words are hard. Finished up this demagogue from the Dark Commune. I think she's looking pretty spectacular as well. Anyhow, guys, if you made it to the end of the stream, you are the real heroes. And I hope you guys are making some good progress on your hobby projects as well. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next stream. Toodles!